Goat Squad TV. So I want to make this video in regards to Time Lord. Now he's going to be missing this game for turf toe, and I think I made a video as recent as last week talking about what are we going to do with Time Lord. Um, I know what we got to do, and it's up to Danny, but I think right now what you really need to do, what you really need to do if you're Danny Ainge is find a way in when the regular season and off season, when the off season starts and the postseason's over, which will be fairly quickly for the Celtics. Start looking at ways to possibly trade Time Lord. Now, I wanna make this video and just say I appreciate Robert Williams for the talent that he is. But damn it, talent doesn't always produce longevity, and talent doesn't always produce um, dedication. I don't think Time Lord is dedicated to basketball the way that I want a guy to be dedicated to basketball. Now, you guys will sit there and say, "How can I say that? Because he's injured all the time. Is he can't help his injuries?" Listen, man. Yes, there are certain injuries you cannot help, but it also comes down to how you take care of your body. You're a professional athlete. Um, you should be working on your body and working on your game every summer. Every summer, there should be something new to your game. And honestly, as much as I like Time Lord and what he does defensively and offensively, he didn't really change his game since he's been in the league. He just had a little more playing time, so you guys got to see the offensive rebounding, the shot blocking, the presence, the rim presence. You guys got to see that. But he never really evolved his game other than that. When I say evolve, like he knows he has to put on size. He has not done that. He looks the same as he did since his rookie year, except his dreads are a little longer. He's always missing games. We need him in big games, and now you realize you cannot rely on him not only as a starting center, as a backup center. You can't rely on him. Now I like Tristan Thompson, but Tristan's not a shot blocker. He's a rebounder, but not a shot blocker. He's very limited at what he could do outside the paint defensively. We need a versatile big. We need a guy that can hit a three and play defense, like a Miles Turner, which Ainge's dumbass decided to fuck the deal up on. We need that probably more than ever. A guy that can consistently step out and hit a three, give us maybe 12 points a game, but he's versatile, could rebound, pass, he can dunk. We don't need his points so much, but we need his shot blocking and rebounding. And we also need a backup center. Unless you're going to use Tristan as the backup, we need a guy that, if you're going to keep Tristan, I keep him as a backup center. I get Miles Turner, and I go and draft another big man in a draft, and I say bye-bye to Robert Williams. You have to trade Robert when he has value. He has probably the most value he's ever going to have as an NBA player, despite his injuries, is right now. GMs are salivating what they could do with a guy that can barely stay on the court. He's a guy that when you get him in small doses, he helps your team. So if you're a team like, let's say, Toronto, or you're a team like the LA Clippers, you don't need Robert Williams to be your starter. You don't even need him to be your backup center. But in sparing moments, he could give you a good 15 minutes, and he'll really put in work for those 15 minutes. But outside of that, you can't really do much. You can't start because he gets hurt. You can't come off the bench consistently because he gets hurt. And they say in the NBA and any professional sports, your best ability is availability. And it means playing him at a lower amount of minutes every game and just having him be an energy guy that comes off the bench for like 10, 15 minutes in short spans, then I think a team like the Clippers, a team like the Blazers, a team like um, some established teams like that, that would make more sense. For our team, we need a guy that's a starting center that can shoot a three, can shoot a mid range, could get rebounds, um, could take some of the pressure off of JB and JT in moments, and then Kemba as well. Um, we need a guy like that. And then have a guy like Tristan Thompson's a luxury because he comes off the bench and he's able to get you all these offensive rebounds and defend. And he's not being relied upon to have to play heavy 40 minutes a game. And at his age, although he's going to be 30, he has a lot of mileage on those legs. He has a lot of mileage on that body for a guy that doesn't shoot. He's not really a shooting threat. He's a guy that comes in there, he makes a difference. And then you go and draft a backup center, another backup center to kind of give insurance that could learn under Tristan Thompson, could learn under Miles Turner. You go and get a guy like that. But Time Lord is not the answer. And I hate to say that. I like Time Lord, but I don't think he's the answer. He can't stay healthy. A feather falls on that dude's shoulder and he's out for the year. And it's like he's been in the league 3 years now. Now, normally I would just say, well, yeah, he's young. We'll just give him time. But we can't give him time anymore. He is of no use anymore for the Celtics. You just cannot use him enough. When he plays, he's great. But when he doesn't play, which is more often than not, he just doesn't do. It's just not good for us. And he doesn't do it. And then anything. If you're Danny Ainge, you cannot give him a contract extension. You can't. It's too risky. You give him a contract extension on this rookie deal. You risk having to pay him more than what he's worth. And if you do that and he's never on the court, now you sign a bad contract. We already had a lot of bad contracts. We don't need any more bad contracts. So if you're Danny, I had to say bye-bye to Time Lord. And I know a lot of Boston Celtics fans are going to be upset. They're going to be upset because they like what he brings to the table. They like Time Lord. But we don't need an alley-oop guy. We don't need a guy that's going to... Yeah, he could give us 13 points and limited minutes and rebounding, but what's it worth if he can't stay on the court? He's out with turf toe, man. Really? You know, he shouldn't be called Time Lord. He should be called Fragile Lord. He's the Lord of Fragileness. Like, he needs to drink some milk or something. Like, what's going on here? Like, why do you keep breaking shit? Why do you keep hurting shit? Anyway, we need a guy that can stretch the floor. We don't need to... Do not go to any of those European guys, please. Don't take it the wrong way. Just do not. Those guys can't play defense. We need a defensive, versatile center that can score when needed to. We don't need a guy that's going to put up 30, but we need a guy that can give us anywhere from 12 to 15. That can start, that can block shots, that can rebound. A Miles Turner would fit that realm. And then you keep Tristan Thompson and you go and get another big man to back him up and also keep Taco. So you got 4 big men on the roster. Taco will be the emergency big in case you need him. He's an emergency big for cheap. You keep him. Other than that, this is not a good look, man. And it's like, I hate to say it, but we don't know when Time Lord's ever gonna play. You never know. He come back next season. To me, like I said, he hasn't done anything to work on his body. The same thing with Romeo Langford. The difference between now, my man and I got into a disagreement earlier, and I'm not mad at him for it. It's cool. Like, and he doesn't think that Time Lord is not dedicated. It's just that he's fragile. I do think he's somewhat not dedicated. I'm not saying he's fully not dedicated. I want to make that clear. He's just somewhat not dedicated. Like I said, not much of his game has changed. He's still an athletic gem, but he's also a guy that really hasn't changed his body. Doesn't look like he's dieting very well. Doesn't look like a guy that really puts in the work and time into his body. I'm talking outside of basketball. I'm talking like get in that weight room. You can't have Semi Ojeleye be your biggest player in the damn team, for God's sakes. That's a shame. Robert Williams should be a solid 240 pounds of muscle right now. He's in his 3rd year. He should be looking like a more athletic Tim Duncan right now. And it's like, he's not. not. He still looks exactly the same as he did a year or two ago when he came in the league. And here's the problem with Time Lord. And it's not that anybody really could defend Joel Embiid, but he severely struggles against Joel Embiid historically. You can't really have him as the center if he's going to foul out within the first 20 minutes of the game defending Embiid. Embiid's just going to fake him out and do all types of crazy shit. That's another thing that you can't really have. Like, when a guy like Time Lord, he's a shot blocker. He falls for all those up fakes all the time. Anybody that ever was a shot blocker, they always fall for the up fake. Ibaka was like that early in his career. He finally stopped. A guy like Serge Ibaka is a guy we really could have used if we didn't even go after. I swear, the Ainge sometimes he got some shit to answer to. But listen, Time Lord got to go. Sorry, Romeo Langford got to go too. Langford's a guy that he hasn't worked on his body either. He just worked on his hand and his surgery, but he has not worked on the rest of his body. Cannot tell me if you having your hand, you can't work on your legs, can't work on the rest of your body, your upper body at least. There's ways to work on your body. Even if you got a broken wrist, there's ways you still could lift weights. Maybe not with that hand, but other ways. There's machines out there specifically that you go to a gym and you can use without really using your hand in a way to where it could be in pain. Trust me, I go to the gyms. I know how this goes. I've had a messed up hand before. I've had hand all fucked up before and still went to the gym and worked out. And I was still able to do it. I couldn't lift up free weights, but I would just jump on those machines to work on certain parts of your body. He ain't doing that. He's skinny. That dude's still skinny as he was his rookie year, and he's fragile too. Now, Langford to me is completely not engaged, and he's completely not focused on getting better. You can clearly see. Outside of his defense being good, there ain't nothing else for him to really be on the court for. So he's definitely a dud and has to go as well. I would put him in that deal. A Time Lord, and unfortunately, maybe even Smart. Even though I love Smart, and he's a heart soul guy. At some point, are you going to pay Smart? Is when you got to ask the question. Gold Squad TV, leave your comments down below. Is Time Lord's time up?